Good morning, everyone. Good evening and good afternoon to viewers from all walks of life. This is Denzomus, and you're welcome to the channel of truth, enlightenment, freedom, and the channel of breaking impasse free. If you are new on this channel, I talk about narcissism and narcissistic abuse. I talk about spirituality and I talk about personal and self-development. And if any of that resonates with you, I invite you guys to join us, give us a like, share the video with friends, and you may subscribe if you haven't already. And for those that have always been with us, you are welcome back. And I thank you for your love and support. So chosen people will already automatically understand that along your journey, you're going to choose a path. So you just wake up one morning and you just decide to choose a path. You know, normally when you get awakened, you start to realize that you want more in life. So you start to look around you. You will start to usually look around you and you realize you want more in life. So you are tired of being confined in a very little box, because you realize that that box, it is keeping you in some form of a slavery. Now, this box may depend on what you call a box. The box may be your family members, maybe your family. The box could be your work, the job that you do. The box could be a relationship. So on your journey, you're going to get accustomed to unplugging yourself out of different situations. So you might start going through separations, you might experience divorce. A lot of you guys who are maybe into relationships, and you get that awakening, and you start to see that box for what it is. Now you decide to say, you're going to leave this relationship behind. If it could have been a family member, you're starting to choose to leave family members behind. Now, most of the times, this journey is very scary. So when you're talking about evolution, you can ask the people who have been there. The journey is very scary. You can look around the people who have made it in life. People have come up with very big inventions. You know, people have done it who have really made it big in life. You're going to come close to those guys and you want to ask them, how did they do it? The very first thing they're going to tell you, that for them to get where they are, there is some people they have to leave behind, because they realized that actually they were living with people who are not going where they wanted to go. So that's the moment whereby you're going to start experiencing some periods of loneliness. You know, so you're going to feel as if everything is against you. You know, so God will sometimes unplug some people out of your life. Sometimes you will think everything is against you, but little will you know that actually everything is working behind the backgrounds in your own favor. So one of the things to realize as a chosen one is that things do not happen to you. Things happen for you. So when a person decides to separate from you, for example, you've been having a wife, and that wife says that the marriage is over. Your girlfriend says the relationship is over. They don't want you anymore. You know what I mean? So maybe you're going through pain that time. You don't know what is the logic behind. So they have decided to unplug, or you have decided to unplug. You're going through that pain, and everybody is unplugging out of your life. There is something happening in the background. Let me tell you something. The universe is moving the pieces around, and there is somewhere the universe wants you to be. But along that journey, nobody can come with you. So a lot of times you're going to have challenges of accepting a new reality. So most of the times, if a person who is trying to evolve, you have got to accept your new reality. We're talking about the reality of thinking for yourself, thinking outside of the box. So maybe a person who has been having a job, you could have been doing a job for so many years. You know, maybe you've done the job for 10 years. You know, it's like that. It's like you're married to that job. You know, you could have been married to that job so many years. You've been in that place 20 years, or you've been in a relationship for 30 years, and now you're thinking that there is something wrong with that relationship, because you're feeling and you're understanding that you're not growing, and you feel that the world is leaving you behind. So those are the moments whereby you're going to get to that awakening, and you realize it is time for you to get out of the box. Now, you may decide to choose a path depending on everybody. Everybody has got a different journey. So we might have some people who like designing, designers, artists, musicians. There may be some people who know something to do with hair. They may be barbers, they may be hairdressers. You know, you may be a fashionist. You may be somebody who likes sports. You have always wanted sports your life or sports all your life. But somebody came around. Maybe your family members came around at some point and they told you that, hey, listen, I don't know why you're wasting time. I don't know why you're wasting time playing football. Going around and losing time playing football. You should go around there and ask for a job. Go and look for a job and do what other family members are doing and what everybody else is doing, because you have got people around you, family members and friends. Everybody's in a normal job. They have a regular job, a 9 to 5. Now you're the person who is going around and trying to play football. Maybe you are training in basketball. Maybe you have gone to a designer school. You have gone to upgrade your studies. You know what I mean? Maybe you could have wanted to become a driver. Maybe you wanted to become a truck driver. That was your passion. You wanted to become a professional swimmer. There is so many things people can do. But let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. There is always going to be resistance. The people that is around you, they do not understand what you're doing. The reason as to why you see there is very, very unique, successful inventors around the world is because those people one day they woke up with a dream. They was tired of working. They was tired of working in corporations, and they were being told what to do. Then they was being given maybe a week in a year, go for your holidays, and then come back and work. And they have been doing their job, at least they've been doing their job properly. It has been a regular job, but they woke up one day and they had a dream. Maybe God spoke to them in a dream, or maybe they saw themselves in a dream, or they had a vision that, oh, actually, I'm a very good artist, for example. So I'm going to wake up in the morning and start to draw, or start to paint, or start to do sculptures, or start to do whatever, something involved with art. So they might have chosen a direction to go and maybe upgrade on their profession, on their art skills. So they could have chosen a path. At some point in life, ladies and gentlemen, everybody has got a dream. But for a person to be successful, to find success in whatever it is you want to do, you have got to become a creator. You cannot achieve a huge amount of success when you're confined in a little box. It does not matter whether you're a banker. It does not matter where you work. It does not matter you work in the president's palace. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. Unless you're a person who is into politics, and those are the guys who are embezzling a lot of funds, millions and millions, and you can accumulate money on the side, you can say you made it in life. But if a person who is confined in a box and you're waking up every single morning and then you sacrifice your time for money, so you give away your time for money, and you've been doing that for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, even up to 10 years, you've been married to that job, and you're still realizing that you're in the same place where you used to be 10 years ago, I will tell you something, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for you to create something. I do not necessarily say that you're supposed to wake up because you found out something, a passion, and then you just abandon your job and walk away. Some people have done that. Some people have done that, of course. But when you discover a passion and you decide to create something, you have got a skill. There is that skill that you have got, but you have never put it into practice. And you're thinking about going around and opening your barber shop. In the corner, you've seen an available place for rent, and you want to go and open your own barber shop. You have got to invest, ladies and gentlemen. You have got to wake up one day and decide to choose 1 or 2, at least even 3 hours on top of your job to start your own creation. Because you see, the problem is a lot of people. The reason why sometimes people get stuck in these kind of cycles is because a lot of people, they fear change. So because people already know that when they start to change, when their life starts to change, number one, they're going to lose friends, because that is obvious. You're going to start doing something that nobody else is doing. You know, when you're a creator, it doesn't matter whether you're online doing these things like what I'm doing, or like those kinds of coaching, whatever, motivational speaking. You are going to have your own unique swag. You are going to have your own unique style, and it is going to be your own unique way of doing things. So there is people, they will never accept your destiny. Your parents are going to come around and tell you that, why don't you look around? Look around your family. Look at your family members. Look at your brothers and sisters. Who have you ever seen uh, opening up barbershops? Designing clothes, going for football, doing and this, doing and that. So you're going to see a lot of people. They're going to start arguing with you because you have decided to think for yourself. So back in the days, it's about we're talking about 3+ years. I was tired of the normal. I was tired of the normal. I do not really say, and guys, let me tell you something. I do not really say I am where I want to be. But at least at this point in time, I know that I've got a vision. So I know where I want to go. You know what I mean? And I know exactly where I want to be. So I'm building on that each and every single day, on top of other things that I'm doing on the other side. So I keep on building and I keep on pursuing because I know what exactly do I want to do and where exactly do I want to be. So I pulled out my camera a long time ago. I had a small phone those days. I was like, I'm going to start with this phone. It was a very, very poor quality phone. I pulled out my phone. I went to the park. It was a very beautiful day that day, very nice weather. I was like, let me see if I can make videos. Then I started recording the first video. Ladies and gentlemen, the moment I started videos, I started losing friends. So there used to be friends those days. I used to have a lot of those Facebook groups and everything. So I used to have friends back in the days. Then all of a sudden I would see people start, people don't want to talk to me. I'm doing videos and people are, they watch the videos sometimes because I used to share some of those videos on Facebook. Nobody was talking to me. Everybody was looking the other way. You know. So there was a time where I was thinking, I think it was like 3-4 months in that time along my journey. I was thinking that am I doing the right thing? Am I doing the right thing? Am I doing the wrong thing? So I started to question myself. When you're doing something that you've never done before, there comes a time whereby you start to question yourself. You start to doubt yourself because you know why you're doubting yourself is because now the ego is coming in. The ego is telling you, listen, how stupid are you to go and do and pursue that journey? How stupid are you to leave your job behind and go and pursue something completely different? So the ego is coming in and telling you that you should have stayed where you were. Now you see everybody's leaving you. Your family don't want to speak to you, to speak to you. Your friends have abandoned you. Ladies and gentlemen, have been abandoned. And sometimes it is me who abandon people because I realized that actually these individuals, they are not going where I want to go. So I had to leave them behind because I knew, okay, so those individuals, they are on their own journey of evolution. I might sometimes be very much ahead of them. Maybe I used to know things they didn't know and they couldn't understand, so they couldn't see my vision. So I unplugged myself out of their lives. But even sometimes the universe is going to come around and get people out of your lives by force. So God will intercept and intervene and sometimes just unplug people out of your life because God knows you're a person with a dream. You like to dream bigger, you know. So the reason why you see a lot of times the resistance is coming in. So there's this resistance coming in. The resistance is coming in because there is people who are afraid of what might become. People are thinking that, oh, this woman has started a small hairdressing, whatever, salon or something. In a few years, they're going to be millionaires. Or somebody decided to start a clothing line. They know whatever it is you are doing is going to bring to you a huge amount of success. And sometimes they can see the success even before you see it. Most of the times, a lot of times, chosen people, you'll have a vision and you start to do something. The very first people who will see where you're going, they are the people who tell you that you're doing the wrong thing. Now, let me repeat this one more time. The very first people who refuse to support your journey is because they've already seen where it is you want to go, and they know at some point you're going to leave some people behind. So they will come around and discourage you. They will tell you, stop wasting your time. What are you doing? Come, let's go to the pub. So you go to the pub and you start gulping those drinks. As you're sipping the vodkas and the whatever the whiskeys in the pub, they are clapping for you because that's where they want you to be. They want to go with you to the club, smoke a joint, and have a beer. And when you are drinking and smoking, they are clapping for you. But should you embark on a journey and you want to think for yourself and you want to start your own creation and do something outside of the ordinary, nobody's going to clap for you, ladies and gentlemen. Nobody's going to clap for you. I did videos in the first months. I would go there. Sometimes you see there's 3 views, there's 4 views, there's 7 views. Then at that time I had about 7 subscribers. In that time there was 10, then there was 11, then there was 12. But there was something in me, that spirit that keeps on telling you that, listen, no matter how it looks like on the outside, just stick on the truth and stick on your journey. No matter what it looks like, do not worry. You're going to be abused. You're going to be smear campaigned. You are going to be told a lot of things. You are going to be called all sorts of names. Let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. When you're a person who is evolving, let me tell you something. You can expect anything. And to your surprise, a lot of resistance is coming from the people that you know. So you're going to reach a time whereby you're going to make very critical decisions. You're going to stand in the truth. You're going to choose the truth, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to stand in your authenticity. You're going to do something that your soul wants you to do. Society has conditioned us to look like everyone. When you look at this matrix, the way it operates, this matrix, the matrix conditions people to do what everybody else is doing. Go and work there. Because in that place, everybody's doing that job, so go and do the same job. Everybody's earning that money, go and earn that same money. But have you asked yourself a question? Those corporations that you're working for, do you know that there's a big brain behind those corporations? They're the ones who will give you the job. There's the big brains behind the corporations, and they're the ones who are feeding, who are getting the honey. They're the ones who are earning the real money. You, as the worker who is in those corporations, you're getting the peanuts. So you're getting the pocket change. There was a creator behind everything, you see. Somebody made this hat, somebody made this shirt, somebody made this necklace, somebody made this jumper. Somebody did this cup, somebody, created this cup. The food you eat, there's brains behind those things. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. The real art of evolution is creation. So you have got to look within. Inside of you, there is something that you need that is going to help you to grow. You may not really know everything in the beginning, but you have got to know everybody is unique in their own way, and there is something you can craft inside. You go within yourself and seek and search and seek something that you know it is something that you can do, and that thing gives you a lot of fulfillment. You feel fulfilled and happy when you're doing it. And you start with the little steps. Don't worry about the details. I've told you countless times in my videos. When you're starting to create, ladies and gentlemen, you start with the little things. But as you're starting also, it is important to know there'll be resistance. Sometimes you'll be thinking, why do you feel alone on this journey? You're on this island, you're creating something on this island, and then you feel like you're looking left and right, there's nobody around you. And sometimes it's lonely. Ladies and gentlemen, it's lonely. It's very lonely. So me, one of the things I learned in those days, I learned that I'm going to embrace this journey. I know it's going to be hard. It may be hard. It will be lonely. There will be names. There will be this. There will be that. I knew there will be the storm. There will be storm. There will be sunshine. There will be rain. I knew. When there is rain, I'm a content creator. I'll take my umbrella and I'll go make the video. So nothing is going to stop you when you're doing something. Ladies and gentlemen, creation also involves perseverance. You stick to your creation, ladies and gentlemen. You do not listen to the noise. They are going to talk. They will hate you. They will isolate you. Because a lot of times the reason why they're isolating you is because they want you to start doubting yourself. They want you to think that you're doing the wrong thing. You know what I mean? It has happened to me so many times. They want you to think that you're doing the wrong thing. They want you to go back and sleep. So it is going to become very obvious, ladies and gentlemen, that there is a moment in time whereby you're going to accept at some point on your journey that you're outgrowing people. You're outgrowing people, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to look back in time and you're going to see a lot of times people, they are way back there, so many miles away, you know. So they're the guys who used to tell you that you couldn't do this, you couldn't do that. They are the ones who tell you, they were the ones who are telling you what you could and couldn't do. But when you reach a certain point in your journey, they are going to come back and ask you, how did you do it? And to your surprise, they are the same people who told you that you couldn't do it in the beginning. They saw you starting, they laughed at you. They used to mock you. They thought you were funny. They called you names. They smeared your name and everything. They put you down. They put labels on you. But when they realize that this person is serious, this man is serious, this woman is serious, and they can see you started to get the results from your creations, from your journey, they are going to come back and they're the ones going to ask you, how did you do it? Tell us how you did it. Because you're in your journey 3-4 years ago, 3-4 years later, and you're looking back in years, and you're seeing those individuals, they are still exactly where you left them from the beginning. So they are still where they were from the start. They have not even moved one foot forward. So you have to understand, ladies and gentlemen, it is when you're talking about evolving, it may not be a journey for everybody. This evolving, when talking about evolution, spiritual evolution, it may not really be a journey for everyone, but it is going to be a journey for the brave. So you're going to have to take a lot of risks. You have to endure the pain, you have to endure the isolation, perseverance, but you have to stick to the goals. Look at the bigger picture and look at the prize. You have got to keep your eyes on the prize, ladies and gentlemen. It does not matter who comes your way. It does not matter who lives your life. It does not matter you're going through divorce. You may even sometimes be a person who starts to create when you're homeless. There's guys who have been creating stuff with. I know about some very big YouTubers. Their first video was created in the car. They were sitting in their car. Maybe those guys used to sleep in their cars that time. Their first videos was created in the car, in some parking yard where they used to sleep in. They used to sleep in their car. The only thing they had was their phone. They started creating videos in their car, and they just kept on going. They were not employed even sometimes. They were homeless. They were not employed. They didn't have a job. The only thing they had in their hand was the phone. So you're a person who is out there, you have got your phone in your hand. You're posting pictures on Instagram for validation. You're posting some new rides. You bought a new ride, or you bought a new Gucci bag or a new Gucci shirt. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a time whereby people need to understand that the life is not really about wearing Versace's and Gucci's and wearing these diamond necklaces and everything. You might wear them if you've got the money, yes, if you've got the capacity. But at the end of the day, you need also to realize there is things you have got to do that are going to move you very high in the next level. People are going to see. People will see when you start creating big things. Let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. I've not seen Mark Zuckerberg in a Versace shirt or a Hugo Boss suit. They may be wearing them, of course, in those big places, but I've not. Most of the time, I see these guys on the internet. I see them wearing little polo shirts and a simple t-shirt and some a couple of easy trainers, and they're walking out. But they're billionaires, you know. Because a person with money, there's nothing to prove. You do not have to prove you're a billionaire. That vibration and that frequency, it will, even sometimes people will sniff it without you talking. When you see a rich man, a wealthy man, a successful man, they do not have to talk. They will just come around your presence and you will just sniff that energy that these people are wealthy. They do not have to prove anything. They do not have to show you they bought a Gucci bag, a Versace shirt, or this kind of things. Very, very expensive clothes, because they want to prove a point. You know. So I just want to encourage you, ladies and gentlemen, chosen ones, that step into your creation. You have to know that there's a bigger picture. Don't settle for less. Get out of that little box and make the first move. And I believe I can guarantee, whether you believe it or not, you're going to look back in years on this journey, and you're going to know that at some point in time you made the right decision and you made the right move, because you're going to be proud of your creation, something that you started doing by yourself and thinking for yourself. You will never apologize to anybody for thinking for yourself, and you never apologize to anybody for starting something that is going to make you the best version of yourself. So let me know what you think about this video. Comment section below. It's important to understand, embrace the isolation, the loneliness, let people go, persevere, work very hard. It doesn't matter what it looks like. Do not worry about the destination. Focus on the journey, bit by bit, day by day. At some point in time, you will get there, and you're going to be proud of yourself that you never gave up. So leave us a comment in the section below, guys. Let us know what you think about this video. You can always book a session with me, guys, if you want to. Everything you need, you will find it in the description section below. And until then, I'll catch you guys in my next one. This is Amos signing out. Love and blessings. Peace.